Sup VC, Bobby B here. The next installment of Bobby's Spins, Finds, and Whatever will commence momentarily, but I just thought I would take a moment to address what is sure to be the elephant in the room at the end of the video. Spoiler alert, towards the end of the video I show this record, the Peter Green's The End of the Game, an amazing album. I'll let Bobby circa 1 month ago wax poetic about this album as only he can. But I bought this album on July 23rd. I made the video on July 24th, and of course, as many of you probably know, Peter Green passed away on July 25th. So obviously I don't mention it in the video because I didn't know it was gonna happen. So I just thought I'd take a moment to pay tribute briefly to this great musician. Peter Green, of course, one of the founding members of Fleetwood Mac, perhaps, I guess you could say, well, okay, one of the founding members of Fleetwood Mac. Just a fantastic blues rock musician, an amazing voice, and just one of the greatest guitarists of all time. So we're losing a lot of the great ones, aren't we? Which is, you know, is only bound to happen, and of course it's going to continue happening. So it's sad. He was 73 years old. So I just thought I'd take a moment to acknowledge his loss and yeah, and address that here before anybody asks me why I didn't mention it. So now we'll tie in. Bob, I think Bobby from a month ago is ready to go. Yeah? Okay, good. We're able to tie in. We're able to tie into... I've been watching a lot of Star Trek in lockdown here. Yep. I'm a Trekker, and I've converted my wife recently, so we've been Star Trekking across the universe. So anyways, let's tie in now. Episode 25 of Spins and Finds and Whatever. Sup VC, Bobby B here. Time for another episode of Spins and Finds and Whatever. This is the fourth video I've filmed today, and hopefully I think it'll be the last one. I'll get the rest of these covered, this stuff covered here. I hope you've been enjoying them. My plan is to spread them out over the month, and hopefully that's what you've been getting. I hope you've been enjoying them. I rewatched the last video I made, which was posted about a week ago. But I just made it a few minutes ago, the one where I was kind of overdosing on French fries. That one was brutal. I mean, I was getting the name. Hopefully I've learned how to superimpose text into my videos by the time you're watching this, but if I haven't, in the last video I claimed to be buying records from a place called Phonopolis. I don't know why I was saying that, because Phonopolis is a record store in Montreal that I've only ever been to, I think, once. But for whatever reason, it was in my brain grapes, and I was saying Phonopolis when I should have been saying Pandemonium. That's the name of the record store here in Toronto that I was going to there. But anyways, yeah, that video was a mess. It was indecipherable, but I posted it. I hope you liked it. Hopefully you go and check out the music that I was showing there. So I'm just going to show you a few more random things here that I feel like showing you, yeah, we'll get started. The first thing, this is awesome. I got this probably a year ago. It's from a band I've mentioned more than a few times on here. One of my favorite bands, my favorite Canadian band for sure, is Sloan. And this is the box set 21 year anniversary edition of their fourth album, Navy Blues. Now, Sloan, power pop band that's kind of dabbled in a few different styles. 4 people in the band. It's been the same 4 people for the past 30 years or whatever, and they all sing, they all write, they all play several instruments. They're amazing. They're Canada's answer to the Beatles, and I like them. This is controversial, but I like them just as much. I know it's crazy to say, but I just love this band. And this album is one that for many people is a favorite. Their fourth album, it had a song on here called Money City Maniacs, which is a can rock anthem. You hear it on alternative radio, classic rock radio all the time. It's a killer song. I'm a little sick of it because it's kind of like, it's kind of like Canada's More Than a Feeling. You just hear it on the radio all the time. But, so I don't always need to listen to it when it comes on the radio, but it's a great way to end a concert. They don't always end their concerts with that song, but when they do, it kills. So that was from this album, Navy Blues. A lot of people's, probably top 2, top 3. For me, this is kind of middling Sloan. It's not their best album. It's definitely not their worst. I think it sits comfortably in the middle there somewhere. But anyways, this box set is pretty sweet. It has, besides coming in a nice sturdy box, it also comes with this 45 here of a couple of the demos. A song called Rockstar Admit It, and a demo called Out to Lunch. So that's kind of neat. And there's the there's that. It comes with, so that's one single. It comes with, okay, come on. It comes with another 45, which is basically a jam. Like, this is the record here. It's basically just a jam from those sessions. There's a simple black label in the middle. It comes with this poster here of the band, and it comes with a download code with all the MP3s. It comes with this full page book, pictures, interviews, factoids, and whatnot. It's the whatnot that I enjoy the most. And then it comes with a copy of the album itself, Navy Blues. It comes with an alternate version of the album featuring demos of the various tracks. And it comes with a third album featuring various outtakes from the sessions. And I think, a lot of there's liner notes and things in here too. Yeah, just a really, really amazing set. Of course, it sold out the day it was went on sale. And yeah, and now I got it for whatever, about $100, and with all of the shipping and all that kind of stuff, it probably came to, I don't know, 110, 120 or something like that. But now if you're going to buy it, it's well over $200. But anyways, Sloan, Navy Blues, amazing package. I don't remember where I got this, but it's kind of a psych rock rarity that's been reissued. The band, named after Bob Dylan's album, the band's called Blonde on Blonde. This is the album Contrast. This was a guitar-led psych band from South Wales, formed in Newport. This album was unavailable for a long time, but it's been reissued on heavyweight vinyl, and it sounds great. There's the inner sleeve. Here's the record. It sounds outstanding. Good old 60s psychedelic rock. If you like 60s psychedelic rock, you are guaranteed to like this album if you don't know it already. Blonde on Blonde, Contrasts. A friend of mine, I guess it's sort of VCLT in a way. Somebody I met on the Instagram, I guess, vinyl community. Eric, he sent me, I was mentioned in passing, we were talking about David Bowie. I mentioned in passing that my copy of Ziggy Stardust has been very well used. I'm in need of an upgrade, and a few days later I got this in the mail, which was really, really nice of him. This is not, I originally had an orange label Dynaflex original. But like I said, that record's been played to death. It's the Rice Krispies are all over that thing. So this is just a tan RCA, which means it's a little bit of a later pressing, but not that much later. And this sounds 800 million times better than the one that I had. So I'm really, really happy to get this record. And it sounds great. You know what? It was kind of like listening to the album for the first time again. It's always been one of my favorite David Bowie albums. I think the only album by Bowie that I like more is 1977's Low. But yeah, just a classic album. Nothing I can say about that hasn't been said before. Little Ziggy Stardust, David Bowie. I was spinning this the other day, but I've had it for a while. So I don't know, but I'll show it to you because it's out. It's one of the more prolific bands out there, Guided by Voices. This is the album Let's Go Eat the Factory. This is their 17th album. They've released 850 billion records to my knowledge. So I was listening to this. This is as good. You know, they're pretty they're prolific, but they're consistent as well. Indie rock, kind of lo-fi. You know, they're kind of known for not having their songs go on any longer than they need to, and that's why they're able to cram. Like, how many songs are on this album? I think there's 21 songs on this album. The longest song is 3.5 minutes, but on average they're like a minute 20. But very, very easy to listen to. Robert Pollard is the main dude behind Guided by Voices. So I was listening to that the other day. And then I had to, one of the things with all the concerts that I've been missing out on, for any tickets I bought on Ticketmaster, I've been getting the refunds through Ticketmaster. Some of those concerts are just postponed, so you can get a refund if you want, but I'll try my, I'll get the refund whenever, if they do get canceled, but since they're just postponed, they're still all shows that I'd like to go to sometimes. But there are many times, whenever possible, I like to buy tickets, because I like hard tickets, because I like to keep them as, mementos. And, I just like getting the hard copies, and it's usually a little bit cheaper to do that. So we have a couple record stores in the area that sell concert tickets. Well, anyways, as I mentioned a couple videos ago, there was this guy Mdu Mokhtar that I bought a ticket for. So I went to return the ticket, and when I did that, I bought a record. The place was called Soundscapes, and so I picked up this classic here by there's two bands that I often kind of refer to as the most consistent bands in history. Sonic Youth is one of them. They've just never released a bad or even a mediocre album, like straight across the board. Sonic Youth even went on to go to a major label, and they still stayed true to their sound, which I loved. So they're one of them. The other band is this one here, Yola Tango. And this is my favorite album by them. I finally got it on vinyl now. I don't have much Yola Tango on vinyl. Most of it's on CD. But this is an album they released in 2000 called And Then Nothing Turned Itself Inside Out. It was a bit mellower. It was a bit mellower than what they had been doing prior to this album. But it's really got just some of their best songs. Saturday, Let's Save Tony Orlando's House. Madeline is a perfect pop song. The Last Days of Disco, they do a cover of You Can Have It All, which is, who is that? You Can Have It All, George McRae. Kind of a disco-y song, but they slowed it down, made it a very kind of drony indie rock song. The last side of the album, Night Falls on Hoboken, 17 minutes, almost 18 minutes, kind of a very steady ambient piece. Just beautiful, stunning. So I'm very happy to have that album in the collection now. Yola Tango, And Then Nothing Turned Itself Inside Out. I think a few people have talked about this one. It's kind of receiving a lot of notoriety right now for being Pitchfork's first 10 out of a 10 album in about a decade. It's Fiona Apple's Fetch the Bolt Cutters. Fiona Apple, she's been around for about 26 years, and this is only her 5th album. So it's all about quality over quantity. But boy, this thing's a beast. It is just wonderful. I love it. So far, it's my favorite album of the year, and this is a special edition, 2 discs. It's a special edition on Opaque Pearl. It's the Opaque Pearl edition, and that's what Opaque Pearl looks like, apparently. So, yeah, it's her vocals are more acidic than usual here, and it's kind of, you know, because I think the album, if I understand it correctly, it has a lot of lyrics about kind of being oppressed and confined. It kind of fits in with our whole quarantine situation right now. Anyways, yeah, you should give this one a listen if you're interested. The accolades are through the roof. Fiona Apple, fetch the bolt cutters, and then and then lastly, I drove out to, I got a car. I just had to get out of the city because it was killing me. Again, one of the days my wife was at work, so I drove into Burlington, went to a place that I used to go to when I lived out there called Looney Tunes, and bought a couple of records there. So this one, I think a lot of people will be familiar with. Many may be surprised that I don't already own a copy of this. It's Charlie Mingus, 1959, post bop, bebop, whatever you want to call it, hard bop. Just one of the greatest jazz albums of all time, and this is a music on vinyl reissue, so of course it sounds amazing. The record is so quiet, so silent. There isn't a smidge of surface noise on this thing. It sounds awesome. One of the greatest jazz albums of all time, and I'm glad to finally have it in the collection. Or it's considered one of the greatest jazz albums of all time, but I would probably agree with that. And then this last album that I'll show you today, it's one that didn't get a lot of good press at the time for some reason. I guess maybe it's because it was just so different than what he had been doing up to that. But it's Peter Green's "The End of the Game," and this too is a reissue, a recent reissue of the album. So Peter Green was in the early bluesy incarnation of Fleetwood Mac. Then he left, and this album he recorded, I think it was like a month or so after leaving Fleetwood Mac, or just a couple of months after leaving Fleetwood Mac. And then it was released, a few months after that. It's a psychedelic jazz fusion album, which is quite a bit different than what he was doing with the Mac. And so at the time, I mean, the reviews have been brutal for this thing, but I think it's awesome. Like, I'd never heard it before. I just kind of avoided it because of the reviews. But when I listened to it the other day, I thought it was amazing. I loved everything about it. So it's on white vinyl, which sucks. Nobody likes white vinyl, and the reason why is because you can't tell if it's in good shape or not. This one, well, it was brand new. It was sealed, and it sounded great. That doesn't necessarily mean the record is going to sound great, but it really does. It sounds very, very good. So I really like it. I don't know if the album has been reassessed lately, and maybe people see its brilliance now, or maybe I'm the only person who sees its brilliance, but it's a really, really great album. The bassist on the album is a guy named Alex Domashofsky, otherwise known as Erroneous. He's from the Ainsley Dunbar Retaliation and Heavy Jelly. He also played bass on several Frank Zappa albums. Anyways, Peter Green. And oh, you know what? And on the little hype sticker here, it says something kind of interesting. It says, a must for all trip hop lovers. So I don't know. I guess the assumption is if you like trip hop, you'll like this album, even though there's nothing trip hoppy about this album, in my opinion. But I like trip hop and I like this album, so maybe, you know, maybe the statement is true. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Anyways, I think that's it. I think that's it for now. Yeah, so hopefully there's no problems with these videos. Hopefully I'll get them up there. Hope you've been enjoying them. Who knows when I'll post something again. But anyways, thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of the day. Enjoy the rest of your summer, guys. Okay? Take care.